Alrighty, let's connect it up. Season 9, episode 12. Crazy. Ready to talk about some stuff for The Walking Dead. My daughter. Alright, guys, wait to connect about a minute early. I go in here, so if you're watching it on the replay, obviously spoiler warning. Gotta wait to connect. So I'm back, guys. I missed you guys, everything. Wait for everybody to join. We got a minute or so before we get going. But if you're watching it on the replay, obviously spoiler warning for season 9 as a whole, comic stuff, show stuff, anything, if you're worried about spoilers, just stop watching. I just like that line because people just are so crazy today. Like, I got something I want to say before I get started too, and hopefully you saw my Sadiq video this morning, and we're plugged in, ready to go. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 12, Walker Stalker Cruise, anything else you want to talk about. Appreciate you guys being here. I missed you guys last Sunday. Last Sunday was the, I don't know where we were on the boat coming back. But I'm excited to see what's going on with The Walking Dead for the rest of the season, but also tonight's episode. I think it's going to be a great episode. I think last week's episode was very good. It was kind of like the comedy of the kingdom was good, and Jerry and Ezekiel were hilarious on the cruise, and it was so great. So let me know, guys, if it's lagging. I'll just kind of restart it and come back. Let me know if it's too bad. I don't know what's going on with it. I got a little bit. Hopefully it's fixed for the output. But I don't know. Let me know. I'll try to do that because I want this to be a good live stream, of course. So, but last week's episode, we'll talk about the last week's episode because I didn't get a chance to talk about it, and I thought it was cool how it was going down. What does the symbol mean? I know everybody has a thing what it is. So let me see. Let me just stop it now. And let's do this. Hold on. Let me stop it. All right, let's see. Let's come back. Let's try here. So let's see. I just reset it, and then hopefully it'll reconnect with a better stream. Sometimes that happens with YouTube and the internet connection. So hopefully it's better. Hopefully it gets resolved. Hopefully we get that. So I started and stopped on it as well. So last Sunday's episode was pretty cool. Now I am excited to talk about tonight's episode. Obviously, I put that spoiler warning out if you're catching it on the replay because I had to start and stop it again. So tonight, I'm excited because we finally get to see Beta. And I think Beta is going to be more of a presence on the show than Alpha. Even though Alpha's the main villain, she's pretty terrible. And we're going to see that. There's been little clips and sneak peeks going around. And she has the really notion that she's not someone you mess with. It's just one of those things that are just not good to be around the Whispers because the Whispers it's just not a group that you want to mess with. Alpha clearly is a villain. She's going to be about protecting herself and the group, but I just don't like the idea of who she is too much, I mean, she's supposed to be a villain and she's going to do things. So it's going to be one of those crazy situations for the villains on the show. I'm excited to see how it goes down. Hopefully you got to see Talking Dead. I thought it was really great was the Talking Dead with the group. Alana Masterson was on the cruise, and so was Ezekiel and Jerry and Father Gabriel and all these people. And that was pretty awesome. I got a chance to meet several of the celebrities, and it was great. And some people were hilarious. They were like, you should not take off during filming season of The Walking Dead when it's on television. And you're like, well, I didn't pick the cruise dates. I didn't pick the time to go on it. I was just had a chance to go on there and meet some of the celebrities and get awesome videos for you guys. So I got some video coming up. I have the gentlemen's panel, the guys panel, and the ladies panel. I have it ready to go. I just have to upload it in 2 parts. And I think the panels were pretty entertaining. The ladies panel is very windy, very unsteady because it was so windy in the Gulf of Mexico and everything there too. So it was nuts for that. But, you get to see Tara, Judith, Lori, Andrea, and Yvette Nicole Brown. Some people don't like Yvette Nicole Brown, but she was really funny. She was like a regular person. She was like the fan up there with everybody, and she got to talk. And I thought it was a good person to have on there. But I think that it was a good, yeah. I guess it's still lagging. I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't know if it's something there, but hopefully we'll keep going and we'll keep it rolling for everybody. But I'm glad to be back for it. And if you want to do super chats, live chats, all that stuff, and Patreon page on there, I always welcome donations to keep us going and growing for sure. Last week's episode, like I said before, I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. I thought the whole thing with the projector bulb, I can see what they're trying to do with it, and it caused some drama there to go in there. But it's like, really? We're trying to get a movie projector bulb there? And the projector looks kind of old. It was kind of crazy to be like, man, it was one of those things where, like, I see what they're doing here, but I don't really understand the technology that was there. I mean, it was 2010 when the show came on. I don't know the actual timeline of the show, what year it is on the show, especially now. I mean, technology has stopped because the world fell apart, but it's like, what the heck, what's going on with that? So I thought it was funny. Cobra Strike is just a word that they would get in and get out. Some people weren't sure about that. Yeah, so protected line, I'm glad you brought that up. Watch my language. Some people love to watch a video on Instagram or on YouTube and then go attack me on Instagram. And I guess some lady, maybe she's in here, maybe she's not, her kids watched one of my videos or several of my videos. I don't know if she's watching it with them or not, but did she watch it or not, saying that I curse and I have foul language in my videos? Actually, I steer clear of that. I can curse. Please, I'm from New Jersey. We curse all the time, dropping F-bombs and this and over there too. But I make a conscious effort to not do that because of I don't know who's watching it. And to be honest, if those kids are watching some other channel, like the huge YouTube gaming channels, that's going to be who they're cursing and stuff too. Like I've watched a couple videos of PewDiePie's or whatever, and he's cursing all over the place. And he's got millions and millions of subscribers, and probably people watch that just as little kids. So it's kind of crazy, right? So she went and attacked me and saying, you need to do a better job with this, and you need to be better protecting the kids of watching your content on there as well. And then all these people came to my defense, and I love that about it and appreciate the support. But I do make a conscious effort to not curse. And when they have the curses in the spoilers, I kind of take them out and change it to a less, word on there as well. But I don't, I try not to as well. Just because I do, if I had kids and they were watching stuff on YouTube, it's not really regulated that much. I mean, you can put up, I guess, preferences on there for age and control and parameters and parental controls on there as well on stuff. But I try not to do that because of that language for that reason. But, I think it's right. So thank you guys. I just had to put that out there and talk about that because it's been kind of a pattern where somebody has watched a YouTube video and they don't really respond or comment on YouTube. They go to my Instagram and then they say all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. And if it's too much, if I consider them an ITT, they get blocked. I got zero tolerance for that. Ain't no one got time for that nonsense, overreaction, over the top stuff that people complain about. So sorry guys, just had to get that out of my system. So last Sunday, I liked being on the cruise. I got to meet some of the subscribers that are in the channel. Maybe some are here now on there. M King, my guy, finished book 9. Hopefully you enjoyed it. To me, it's one of my best favorite books of the series, book 9. So M King, don't say anything, no spoilers on there, please. But book 9 is titled Settlement, and it's one of my best books, I believe, and I'm very excited about it. It builds for the future in a good, I guess you could say bad way, and sometimes, but it's a little crazy stuff happens in it, and it's a really good setup for the following books down the road. So Lucille 11 up in the house. So I got to go on the Walker Stalker cruise, and it's the final cruise. And to be honest, I'm excited to be over with the cruises because it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of craziness on there too. I liked being on the cruise, meeting Judith, meeting Ezekiel and Jerry, even though I met Ezekiel last year, and a couple other, people are on the boat, some subscribers, some followers on here too. So I'm liking the idea of the cruises being over because it's a lot to do. Getting the panels, doing here, there. Sometimes I just want to relax, and I won't be able to relax sometimes because I'm getting the panels and pictures and this, and there's a lot of running around on there too. Jaden Dorchester, you can get my books on Amazon.com is the best option. Fight for Us. So it's Fight, the number 4, and then US. You can get all 9 books, soon to be 10 books. That'll be out later this year for it too. So hope that you guys have checked out the panel videos. A lot of good stuff have gone around. They talked about some things. They have the guys panel up there. I have the epic belly flop contest with Cecil Grimes on there too. Cecil Garner. He's a cosplayer of Rick Grimes, and he's pretty cool. He's a nice guy. And he was all over the cruise, and people were getting pictures with him. But Mark, Q&A, will we see Negan and Beta interact? I don't know. I hope so. We don't see Beta and Negan interact tonight. We will see Negan interact with Michonne in the jail cell because Negan is back in the jail cell. Hopefully, we will eventually see Beta and Negan interact. I don't know if we're going to get the Negan storyline with Alpha, with the Whispers, with all that, because I just haven't seen it or any word of that too. And if Negan's locked up, that doesn't seem like a possibility. Jane Bryan, does Barnes & Noble carry your books? They did for a while. I know early distribution was there. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't really go to bookstores, I have to say. I have the company publisher is actually an Amazon subsidiary company where they print the book as they make it. So I don't even have a bunch of copies besides my proofs that are sitting there waiting to be delivered. It's called Create Space because it's designed to avoid unnecessary publication and clutter and wasting of paper until someone orders it. So they order it. If you order it through Amazon, they make it, publish it, and then ship it out to you directly. So it's, not a bunch of books just sitting there wasting paper. So I like that about it because I'm kind of, environmental and about saving the planet and everything, and reducing, reusing, and recycling is important. And the thing, paper is big for it as well. So Kindle, you can get them on Kindle as well. They're cheaper on Kindle because it's a digital copy for it too. Let me see what else we got here. Bailey Saxton, Q&A, Brian, where do you see Lydia's story going? Great question, because from what I see is that Lydia goes back with the Whispers tonight. Alpha and her have this whole thing like, can I trust you? Can I not? Why did you come save me kind of thing? Like, why did Alpha go get Lydia? If she doesn't really care about Lydia put herself in a situation, got caught, she was weak, but it's her daughter, right? I mean, ultimately, she's going to care about her daughter, even though I don't really know. The dynamic doesn't really seem like Alpha really cares about Lydia that much. Maybe it's a control thing. Maybe she feels that it's my daughter and I'm going to do what I want and I'm responsible for her. So Lydia's story, she goes back to the Whispers. Henry goes after Lydia, and I don't think they get rescued tonight. Maybe the following week they get rescued. And then I don't know where they go from there because Lydia basically stays at Hilltop. She becomes a Hilltop resident with Carl and that situation. The whole Henry dynamic, does it go the way of the comics? Does it not? I don't know, because it doesn't make sense to me if what I'm hearing that Henry gets killed off, and then what happens with Lydia? That's a great question, because if Lydia is connected with Henry on the show, it's Carl in the comic, but she stays at Hilltop, does she just become a Hilltop resident? Does Daryl stay with her and protect her like the father figure to protect Lydia against the abuse of mother, Alpha? Because I think that's where it's going with Daryl. I think Daryl wants to protect Lydia against Alpha and the Whispers. I just see that's where it could happen, but I just don't know what's going to happen with Lydia per se. Bratislava Peric, Bri, do you think that Negan will get his own spinoff show like Morgan? Let's talk about the spinoff a little bit, guys. So the spinoff news has been that it's in production, in development by the COO of AMC. Not The Walking Dead, AMC. AMC owns The Walking Dead. They can go forward with it as well. And I haven't really heard anything from Robert Kirkman or Gimple or whoever like that. I guess Gimple's working on the movies. And I believe that the AMC people want another spinoff. They want that cash cow, baby. They want that money train. They want The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. And then Fear the Walking Dead? No, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what's going to be titled. Is it going to be like Walking Dead Origins? Negan, the governor. Dun, dun, dun. I would like to have actually the Negan story, I think would be the best. If there's a second choice, I would like to have the Governor novels, Rise of the Governor, Return to Woodbury. Probably not the Fall of the Governor, because we saw that happen. That was basically on the show, not the book, but the story of the governor fell. The governor was killed off. So I would like to see actually the Governor show or the Negan one. But Negan would make the most sense because Negan would have a connection with the previous show, the current show, and the future of the show as well. Because Negan's going to be redeemed. Something's got to happen where he gets out of the jail cell. Because he got out, and now he's back in, and he's got to be released and become a member of Alexandria to help everyone, right? So I don't know why it happens, who it'll be, what happens, but ultimately I think Negan would be the best. They can do it at the sanctuary in the woods. They can do it on their studios. I think it's called Riverwood Studios now. It was called Raleigh Studios when AMC bought it, and they changed the name. And I think that would be the best thing because the sanctuary is on their set, in their sound stage and everything, so they can actually film there on their own property. And Negan would actually be pretty interesting, I think so too. So let me see. Joey the Gator, do you think Beta would be awesome tonight? I hope so. I hope Beta is awesome. I'm excited for Ryan Hurst to be Beta. I know some people are excited for him. Some people don't. Some people are excited. But I like the idea of Beta being on the show. And I made a video that kind of shows some similarities of Beta and Daryl. And there's more similarities than you think. They're both kind of trackers. They both tie up their pant legs. They live in the woods. They're second in command. Daryl uses a crossbow, but Beta uses 2 giant knives. Daryl's using 2 knives now. They both wear vests, even though Beta wears a jacket and a vest and a scarf. It's kind of crazy to think that way. I hope Beta is awesome. And my wife asked me a great question. Do you think we'll have a Beta backstory? I don't think we'll have a whole season of a Beta backstory, even a whole episode, but how did Alpha, Beta, and the Whisperers start and come together? What if that was the spinoff show? The Alpha backstory. More in depth with how they go if they don't cover it on the show, how she met Beta and started the Whisperers over the 6 years, and if they were in DC or what they did. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. So, is Beta a famous baseball player? He was a basketball player, I believe, is what the comic origin of the character was. But the show can do what they want, In the comic, Michonne had, daughters. So, and then she left to go to the Commonwealth, and there too. That's different. She had a son. It's just different for the comic show versus the comic. And I like that. I like the differences of it too. So, Robert Lusby, what's up, my friend? How was the cruise? The cruise was good. It was a good time. We had a lot of fun. Got to enjoy the time off a little bit. And I would have liked to have been able to upload, but it was nice to not have to be connected with the internet, my phone, just having to stream things and have to make videos. And some people are like, you should have done this and you shouldn't have been away from the Walking Dead season. You should have done that. Well, I didn't make the cruise. I didn't pick the dates of the cruise. And we were quad squad, so we got to go on all 4 cruises. And we got to, I got to talk to James, one of the owners. And they're talking about doing a European cruise in 2020. Now, I'm not going to go on that because I'm not going to fly all the way to wherever the port is and then go on that and then fly back. It's just not going to be cost effective for me. But for those who live across the pond in Europe, in the UK, Germany, there's going to be more and more conventions through Walker Stalker, which should be pretty cool. Hopefully you'll get to meet Andy Lincoln because he lives in London now, back home for a little bit. So hopefully you'll be able to see it. So, Michael, I've already posted the guys panel, part 1 and 2, the funny clips of Ezekiel and Jerry, and then also the belly flop contest. Cecil Grimes in the belly flop contest. So I had little clips and parts of it, but I'll be having that as well. I have the ladies panel, and I'm going to be putting more videos up when I can of it, and just stuff people would want to see. Not everybody wants to see that stuff for sure. So Q&A, M King, was I upset I couldn't watch The Walking Dead on the cruise? Yeah, I was kind of pissed off that they didn't have the episode on Sunday. I had to wait till I came back to watch it. And that sucked because This is a Walking Dead cruise, Walker Stalker cruise, right? You're telling me you couldn't find it to put it on there too, because you have limited television, you have limited movies, you have limited access to a lot of things, and you get to see, they play a couple movies throughout the time. They're showing this, they show Skybound stuff, they show different, usually they did show previous panels. They did have the panel on television when they had it going on there too, and I didn't go watch the Governor and Andrea panel. I watched it on my TV, and I did not watch the Hilltop panel with Tara and Jesus. I watched it on my TV before the big Quad Squad party. So I didn't get those recorded, but I got to see some cool stuff and interact with a lot of people and get some good information. And I have to say that David Morrissey, who plays the Governor, is pretty hilarious. And I never met him before, never talked to him before, and he was saying some funny stuff about, a lot of times he filmed stuff previous to The Walking Dead, not on there, but it was green screen. And there's stuff that everything was green screen. There's no monster in front of you or this, and you have to act and react to it, and there's nothing there. So you have to be like, oh. And there was a guy that was doing the he was like the point of reference for where David would look. And he had this pole, and he was filming something. I don't even know what it was. And he goes, yeah, he came at him, and he had to move and react. And the guy was like, can you put a little more effort into it? And Dave's like, can you help me out? And the guy was like, yep, and just moved the pole. And the guy had this short shirt that didn't cover his belly. And every time he would go, boop, and the shirt would come up. It was pretty hilarious. And it was really, really funny. It was kind of a thing that I never really saw from David Morrissey before, because I just never really saw any of his interviews and all that stuff. And that was season 3 into season 4. Then it really wasn't crazy, because The Walking Dead really took off for a lot of people. Season 4, 5, 6. It was huge for ratings and everything there too. And season 3 was really the Governor's season. And the Governor is one of those characters that I wouldn't mind seeing a spinoff, because it was kind of the heyday of The Walking Dead, but it may be too far gone for it. So I know that I was excited to be on the final cruise, and I'm good that I won't have to go on them anymore, because we were 4 years in cruises, and it was fun and got to meet a lot of people, but it was just always something going on. And I want to go on a cruise where I can just relax and enjoy my time and not have to go record panels, and we just go to dinner and relax and go to see the comedian and stuff, and just have that like a regular type cruise. This upcoming October, my wife and I were going to go to Las Vegas, and then we're going to go to Oregon to see the Roll-Off Farms in Oregon. And so I'm excited to do all that. And it's going to be around the same time of Walker Stalker Atlanta, so I won't be able to go there as well. I know some people love to go to that convention. And to me, I just been there, done that, got the T-shirts, and I'll be making many more videos for you guys going down the road this season. Fear the Walking Dead stuff. Game of Thrones, of course. I'm excited for next month. Game of Thrones. My wife and I are watching Game of Thrones right now. We're on season 3 back. We watched all the previous season, but we're watching it again to get it ready for the final season. So we're on season 3 of that, and it's a good way to refresh up on things too. And that's a good thing to watch, especially if you watch the older episodes of The Walking Dead, because you get to see where people came from and to see where it is too. So Christmas Girl 304. Yeah, I'm going to post what I get from Roll-Off Farms. Hopefully I'll be able to record there and hopefully meet some of the Matt, Amy, Jeremy, and Zach and a couple of people there. The families, that'd be pretty awesome too. So Kimberly Barner, I don't know for certain who are the Pike victims. I will not know probably till right before the episode, or frankly, I kind of don't want to know that. I'd rather be surprised for that, for the Pike victims on there too. But if we get the information, then I will be sharing it with you guys too. So, but I already gave you my predictions, who makes sense, who doesn't. And I think last week's episode showing Nabila and Jerry possibly showed some foreshadowing of that too. So, Julia, Brian, will you do any more Walker Stalkers? I don't have any more plans this year. I might be taking a break from the Walker Stalker conventions. I got a lot of stuff going on with other things, and just later on this year is just not on the docket for that too. So, Shane Daly, how many Pike victims will there be? Again, I don't know exactly how many victims there will be. If you saw the Spoiling Dead fan pictures of the snow with the cones, I think there was eight of them. So, and no, there will not be a cliffhanger. Angela Kang hopefully is like the rest of us. She would not want to put us through that. So what if they did that though, right? Let's talk about a possible cliffhanger. I don't know if that's going to be happening. I don't think it's going to happen. From what I hear, it's not going to happen. But we're going to have the fair, everything that happens there, the Pike victims, and that could be why. Hold on. I'm getting a message here, making sure I'm off with that. So it could be the Pike victims, then we see it, then something happens with the Kingdom and Hilltop, and snow, blizzard, and boop, that's it. That's the end of the season. So we'll find out who the victims are. We won't have to wait till October is the word I'm hearing. So I don't want to see that too. So Ron Roden, hello from Marietta, PA. Marietta, PA. You getting snow up there? Anyone getting snow right now? Like right now, hopefully you guys know I live in Tampa, Florida, or right outside Tampa, Florida, and it's hot, man. It's like way too hot. It's March 3rd, and some people are getting snow. Some people have the polar vortex. Some people get it super hot, and the cool down's coming. It's coming. I think today's gonna be the hottest, and it's gonna get cooler. And then by like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's gonna be like cold everywhere. Yeah, I got to talk to my dad. My dad still lives in New Jersey, so I know they were gonna get snow pretty soon. And I always check the weather, and it's like, man, 38 degrees or something yesterday. I wouldn't want 38 degrees. I would want it to be cooler. I like 70 degrees, high 60s, low 70s with some breeze and the shade. I'm all about that. Where you don't have to run the heat or run the air. That's where it's all about too. So Kimberly Barner, where did Rick go? Rick left, man. Rick's out of here. Well, I don't know where he went exactly. We don't know if he's international, if he's Ohio, if he's Pennsylvania. What if he went to Pittsburgh? That'd be kind of cool, right? Don't know. DC, Texas, over here, aircraft carrier. Don't know. Just not sure exactly. We'll have to wait and see. So, lucky it's 5 degrees in Indiana. That sounds terrible. I just don't know how you do it. I just don't know how you live in anything that's negative or teens with and without the wind chill. That's just crazy, right? Kevin Justice, Melbourne, Florida. Where you at? I just got a bunch of people posting there. Kevin, have you seen or know of Cecil Grimes? He lives in Melbourne, Florida as well, I believe. So if you can be on the lookout, Cecil Grimes cosplay. Janet, Brian, heard someone that Alpha has a burlap sack full of heads. Thoughts? I don't know if it's a burlap sack full of heads. I know that the bodies, I think, of the people that they kill is in that big, they carry them out. I believe that is the victim of the people that challenge Alpha in tonight's episode. That it'll be, what's her face? The boyfriend and girlfriend that challenge Alpha, basically, who say, you put the Whisperers at risk going after your daughter. You went against the rules of the Whisperers. And I think the two bodies that are in there are the boyfriend and girlfriend that aren't going to make it out of this episode. I think that's what's in the big sack. So thank you guys for joining me. I'll go for about another half hour. If you want to do super chat, it's always welcome to donate to the channel. It's always welcome and appreciated as well. We got a lot of big things coming for the channel for March, April, the rest of the year. Anyone going to see Captain Marvel? I'm going to probably wait to the end of March. That'll take it right into April. And then we got Avengers Endgame. And you got to watch Avengers Endgame like right away, right? Because I don't want to get spoilers with that. That's just crazy. I want to know what's going to happen with that Endgame. Boyd, do you think that Beta is making a Whisperer mask for Henry? I think he's making it for Lydia, actually. So initially I thought it was a Whisper he had against the tree, but an awesome source told me that it's most likely a walker that's roped or tied up to the tree, and he's actually going to skin the walker. And hopefully we'll see how they make a mask of it. And I believe it's for Lydia because Lydia doesn't have that. I think they want to kill Henry. I don't think they want to keep Henry as part of the family, So But I also have a question for you guys, right? There's all this debate of like the whispers, they're real. They're not, well, they're not real, but they could happen. They're more legit than they could think, and tanning the hide and this and that, and the skin would last. But what about the hair? Why do all the walkers have super long hair? Because would the hair continue to grow and stay in the mask, or is it tied in? Is it sewn in? Are they seamstresses? They got their their sewing machine. They're like, they're working on that hair. They're keeping the hair tied into the Whisperer mask. You see Alpha with her her sewing machine, like putting it in there. You know, like how does the hair stay? And I don't see a lot of Whisperer skins, the masks, not have hair. They all pretty much have hair, right? So that's kind of interesting fact, because I would think if the blood supply dies, the hair will just fall out, right? So it's just kind of a funny thing to talk about, but yeah, I know it's fake. It's not real. But if it was thinking about it from an actual perspective, that it's the hair, if you skin an actual walker, right? So if it's an actual person, if this was like reality, which it's not, they got like actual thing there, or is it just like fake? They got some fake hair from a beauty shop that they went in there. It's funny, right? So Jordan Irving, the Food Blogger's Kitchen. Hey, Brian, do you that Carol killing the Sabers foreshadowed her versus the Whisperers? Please answer. So I'm guessing you go with, do you think that Carol killing the Sabers foreshadowed her versus the Whisperers? I don't think so. I don't think that's connected really at all. I don't think the Whisper Savior thing was that. I just think that you don't mess with Carol. And if the things are true, you don't want to mess with Carol. And I want to see Alpha versus Carol. You know, that's what I personally want to see. I don't want to see Daryl get the whole big things from anymore. I mean, I love Daryl, don't get me wrong, but Daryl's already had the interaction with Alpha, and I don't want to have him, I want Michonne or Carol to have the next interactions with her in a big way. So I think that'll be kind of the big thing. So yeah. Great question. Bald people can't turn into walkers. I guess not, right? I guess they don't have bald walkers. Just like they don't have like huge fat walkers, right? The only one we saw was the well walker. I don't know if there's ever been like that huge big walker that's just like walker. I've seen a couple of them, but they're all the same, right? They all have long sleeves, so you don't have to mess with their arms. You have a prosthetic stuff on their face, and you have some things here. And some of them are missing a shirt. And it's usually the same guy that they use for that. The super skinny guy that they killed at the hotel thing, the motel where Merle was there, and they roped the telephone wire around him. It's like the same actor that they've used several times because he's the best way to play a walker, and he's super skinny on there too. And some of the walkers that have been on the show have been on the cruises, and I got to talk with them some of the time. And it's pretty cool. If you take Atlanta movie tours, a lot of those people are your tour guides. And they are super skinny, and it's just kind of funny because they're always wearing a long shirt and they got long hair and they're this. And you haven't really seen too many of them have like T-shirts on really there. It's just like, what? So, yeah, I guess, Jane, their weight falls off. It just melts away. Their adipose tissue just melts off. They're on that detox diet, right? So, yeah. But, Q&A, have I ever been to Mardi Gras in Louisiana? I have not. I was in Alabama, and I wanted to go to Louisiana for Mardi Gras. I have not had a chance to go there. I have not been to Louisiana besides the one time for the cruise that was very short-lived, and I didn't even get to see Bourbon Street or anything like there too, and it was kind of not a good, fun trip, but I would love to go back and see that. But I'm not a big drinker, so I don't really do all that. Hectorito for Hector in the house. Do you think Jerry has been getting more screen time because he's about to lose it? I think Jerry needs to be on there. Well, he didn't have much screen time. We didn't see the Kingdom in 909, 910, and we saw him last week. I think Jerry is going to be a character that better make it to season 10. I don't want Jerry and or Ezekiel and Nabila to all die. I'd rather have, I have to say, guys, I wouldn't want anyone to die, but if it was between Ezekiel, Jerry, and Nabila, I'm sorry, Nabila, you got to go. Jerry is too much comedy for the show, and their dynamic, the bromance with Ezekiel and Jerry is real. It's real in real life. It's real on the show. They're not really acting. They're just having a good time, you know? So I don't know if we're going to lose one of them. I just don't know what they're going to do with it. I just think that it'll be telling who we get to see more and more of them. We're going to get the Marco, Tammy Rose. You know, we're going to see them. We saw them pretty much in every episode so far, even though it's been short-lived. We saw more and more and more because that's what's going to happen, right? The Walking Dead's like, okay, we're going to kill this person. We're giving them more screen time. We're going to give them more screen time. Or we're going to kill this person, more screen time. Just like Denise. You saw her very short-lived. Then she had her whole episode and then taken out. That's what they love to do. So Jerry, I got to meet him. He is hilarious. He's just like a big teddy bear, Jer Bear. And he's just fun to be around. And I'm glad the show has a character like that because you need some comic relief, especially after losing Abraham. You need a fun, loving character with the one-liners. And Jerry is that guy, Jerry. But Joey the Gator, do you think Negan will kill Alpha? Maybe. I personally hope it's Carol. I hope Carol gets that nod and that happens because you know Alpha can't survive past all this, but we'll see what happens, what's going to happen with that going forward with Michonne's contract. Season 10, is it going to be the last season of the show? Or are we going to get a season 11? You know, and some people agree with the idea of a new group coming in called the Highwaymen and the symbol, if that's what it means. Some people are like, they think it's made up. Some people are telling me that other channels don't believe in it. They think it's stupid. They think it's made up. So I don't know what to believe. I know what I hear, what I think, what could potentially happen. And we'll see who the dude in the cowboy hat is. We'll see what happens there. But what do you think is with the symbol? You know, some people love to tell me what other channels think the symbol is. And to each their own. I just don't think that it's an alpha, you know, symbol because we never seen that symbol connected with the character. That's not something we saw from the comic, and maybe it's just for the show. But the symbol clearly is like a highway with a line with a support beam on it, or it's the I'm going to say it wrong. I know I don't know how else to say it. Quincunx. I don't know how to say that word, but that just makes the most sense what that symbol actually is. The 5 points, the 5 thing, you know, all that whole video there too. So it's interesting to see how it goes down, what it's going to be, if it's connected with the X or not. It's basically an X cut in half, right? I mean, it's a V with a line and there's no other line, so it's an X cut in half. So I just see some possible connection there too. So I don't know, Joey the Gator, when we'll see the Highwaymen, if we'll actually see them either, right, too. But yeah, I agree. It could be a headless stick figure. That makes the most sense too. So. But that's not, you know, an alpha symbol. It's not an alpha border symbol like some channels like to just go about saying, and it could happen. There's a lot of scenarios right now and theories, and that's what they have to be right now, just theories. No one knows 100% exactly what it is, and that's good. That's the whole thing. So, am I reading Jay Kane? Am I rooting for Lydia and Henry's love story? Not really. I mean, I don't really think like, oh yeah, The Walking Dead needs a love connection right now. Do we really need that? I mean, it's kind of sucky if Henry dies when he's supposed to replace Carl. You know, that's kind of like, what are you doing? The Henry replacement of Carl is supposed to be there because Carl got killed off. And it's funny, like comicbook.com or whoever had the article, and they're like, Chandler Riggs says they should have just recast the actor. Well, we all agree with that. Everyone agrees with you should have just recasted the character. I don't need Chandler Riggs' approval for that, you know? And I kind of felt bad for him. I saw him several times on the cruise, and every time people would be like, so are you mad at the show for killing you off? And what is he supposed to say? Yeah, I hate them for killing me off. I wanted to be on the show because he did want to stay on the show. And he's kind of in the situation where he's got to play the politically correct thing. He's like, yeah, well, they're doing the great thing here, and they had a great part. I wouldn't change anything with Henry and Lydia. And Carl's like, oh, yeah, and meanwhile, he's probably thinking in his head potentially like, yeah, they killed me off. They sucked. I wanted to have the Whisper arc with Lydia. I wanted to do that, but they could have just recast him. I just think that's probably what they should have done. The whole Carl thing. But even though I don't mind Matt Lintz, who plays Henry, he's all right. He's a good, naive, young teenager who's all worried about this chick he just met and being in a relationship and with Lydia. So, yeah. Hectorito, who wins the worst smell battle, Daryl or Alpha versus Alpha? I don't know. I mean, that's got to be pretty bad. I mean, we saw Daryl in the water fishing, at least, so he technically had a bath. I don't know what's happened with the Whispers and, how could the Whispers survive being outside during the frigid winters in Virginia? I mean, it's probably going to get into the 20s and 30s, So you're going to tell me the fire, they never lit a fire and the walkers weren't attracted to the fire? How did they stay warm all those years, 6 years, or 7.5 years, whenever they actually started? So I guess it was 7.5 years ago they started, or at least 6 years, right? So what have they been doing for 6 years? Did they actually have a place that they stayed in first? Or they've always been living in the wilderness like savages? I don't know. Sup, Ryan? Thank you. Oh, retracted it. But thank you for the super chat if that stays on there too. So we got a lot of cool stuff. I got some pictures and some videos of coming up. We're going to be doing a review tonight for sure of the episode. And then I'll be breaking it down what I saw. I think that should be good. I'm excited for Beta and Alpha. And if you've seen the little clip I shared on Facebook, give me a follow on at the PT channel on Facebook. That you see the little clip of Alpha and Beta talking. And Beta is basically listening to Alpha talk about Lydia when she was younger, how Lydia almost died. And then Alpha is like, she's not even tough love. I don't even know if that's the correct word of tough love. I think it's just like, I don't know what I mean. It's just like reprimanding her. She's just like mean to her. Because tough love is one thing, but it's just ridiculous. Adam Rotella, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. CA, appreciate it. But Alpha is one of those characters that survival of the fittest is just interesting. It's one of those things that it's a good mindset, but I don't know if it's going to be too good for the continuation of it. You're like, all right, we got it. You have to protect your family though, right? Lydia's Alpha's daughter, and I don't even think she cares too much if she lives or dies, but then she goes to visit, she goes to, protect her, and we'll see if she breaks down this time on there as well too. So Ryan Stewart, hey PT, how you think Whispers get distracted from killing Henry? The herd comes in. So we'll talk about that next. So basically, Henry goes after Lydia and I guess follows them. Beta finds Henry and brings him back to the camp. Alpha throws down her knife and tells Lydia to kill Henry. Lydia can't do it. And something happens at night. And I believe all these walkers come in. And they are kind of led there by Connie, Dog, and Daryl. So I think that's what causes that to happen. Causes Henry to survive because Henry escapes. What I want to know, though, is, so say Daryl and Connie and Dog come to the rescue and they're like, dun, 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 come on, Henry, come on, Lydia, let's go. Henry and Lydia escape. Daryl, Dog, and Connie escape as well. Do they make it back to Hilltop? Do they not? Does Beta actually fight Daryl then? Is that why they fight? Daryl gets beaten up and gets taken prisoner. I just think that's kind of what happens, right? Because we know that Beta and Daryl are going to fight each other. I don't think it happens this episode. I would assume it happens in episode 913. And I think that's probably what happens in my opinion because we saw them fight. And there has been times that there's been stuff in trailers that wasn't used. Previous years it happened. And I had a whole video about the Dwight Arat thing where he's chasing the people on the highway and it was never used. It was never happened there too. So George Milionis from Greece. Give me any word. I'll show you the origin of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I love that movie. Any word. Aha. There you go. But I'm excited for tonight's episode. I thought the episode was really good last week. I think all the episodes have been really good. And some people are like, no, they haven't. Don't lie. I like it. It's my opinion. If you don't like it, then get out of here. You know? I think the episodes have been great, if not good, been very entertaining, and it's been a very good season so far. Mark, anything new on the X's? Nothing yet. I still think we're going to find out what happened in episode 914. So we got 912 tonight, 913, and then 914, and I think that's the big reveal of the X's, the flashback. And remember, we found out about Michonne's scar in episode 906 and Daryl's scar in episode 907. So I guess it would be fitting that would take kind of a whole other 7 episodes to get to 914. That's when we'll find out about the X scars. And also, if you look at it closely, what happened to Daryl's face? He's got a scar and a cut on his cheek and above his eye. So it kind of goes down like something was dug into his eye. He got away and it continued down, cut on his face. And I think that has to be connected with the scars too, because he didn't have that before Rick went away. So, yeah. Herberto Morales, I'm still mad about the PPP card. Well, I don't know why you'd be mad about it. We just haven't got an answer about it. And I want to know what the answer is. That's a Gimple thing. Alana Masterson, Tara said it on Talking Dead. What does PPP mean? She says only Scott Gimple knows. So I think we'll find out what that means in the movies. I think the PPP card will be answered there. Excuse me. Anything on King's Pike death. Joey the Gator. A lot of people think that actually Ezekiel will live. That's what I think too. I think Ezekiel will live. I think that'll be kind of a big thing. Jordan Irving, the Food Blogger's Kitchen. I need to get your books. Amazon.com. Fight for Us. So I'll type it, the name right here. Fight for Us. Right there. That's my book series, Fight for Us. 9 books now. And I'm excited about it. I think it's a great story. And I wrote a lot of notes down on the cruise and everything there too. I'll get everything going in my mind. And I'm ready for book 10. And that'll be out later this year. Sup, Ryan? Don't think Henry dies. It's too obvious trying to trick us. That's the thing too. But usually the sources of the information that I usually see and I provided, anonymous sources, some aren't anonymous, some are, that Henry is definitely in danger. So we'll see if it comes true. Henry's in a situation where it's like, all right, I don't know if he's going to make it out of here. So we'll see. We'll see how they wrap up. But I could see that it could be a little too much. People are thinking that it's too obvious. But if you didn't know the spoilers, right? If you didn't know these things, Henry he's walking on thin water. Is that even right? Is that even right? He's skating on thin ice, right? Sorry. But he's doing dangerous things. He's telling Lydia too much information. He goes after Lydia, and he would just be killed. Like, if Beta came in, boom, threw him down, Alpha's like, kill him, done, right? You know, it'd be kind of crazy. So yeah. Balls to the walls 420. Got to get the Punisher hat, man. Yeah, check Amazon for sure. For sure. What do we got here? We got a bunch of cool things. Do you think Dog will be a Pike victim? I mean, come on, Lucille 11. I don't want to see that. I think if Dog gets killed, it's because Dog gets sworn by walkers, kind of like Shiva, right? So I was watching Game of Thrones Season 3, and there's some dragons in there, right? And there's a part in it, I don't want to give it away, but there's some part where the dragon is kind of upset, and you can feel, it's a digital dragon, it's not a real dragon, but you kind of feel like it's upset about, Daenerys. And they did a great job for the making the feeling of emotion of it, I think the idea of the emotion is the big deal for hold on, let me see if I can do that right. Let me see. I'll see if I can get that back to you. But I think they did a better job on Game of Thrones with the emotion of the digital animals like Ghost and the dragons on there too than they did for Shiva at times, especially for Shiva's death. And I'm like, I didn't really feel like Shiva let out a big moan or a groan or a big roar or something when she tried to survive, and was like, they should have just done a better job with that. And I watched it and I just put two and two together, kind of compare the two, but it's just like, So big sexy. Will Jerry ever be able to do a handstand? Well, I hope so. But the big thing about that, let me talk about the thing on the cruise, is that Jerry Cooper Andrews was trying to, he was one of the judges at the belly flop contest. And Alana Masterson actually said, come on, Cooper, do a belly flop. Jerry. And the group and the crowd was going, Jerry, going crazy, right? And Cooper was like, I have a hernia. I can't do it. Got a hernia. Back pain. I really got to show it on Instagram. And so I guess he has a hernia. I don't know if it's an inguinal hernia or a hiatal hernia or somewhat, but I don't know if he's going to get it surgically repaired or what. But he said that, that's my get out of jail free card. That's my dare. I'm going to say no to the belly flop contest. So if you can do that, you can do it. So I guess Kari Payton was doing handstand, walking on his hands backstage before the Kingdom panel. I had the whole video on YouTube if you want to check it out. And then they said, you got to do it, right? And so he did, because of the dare that he didn't do the belly flop contest too. So it was pretty funny. Janet Bry, do you think Beta will take Daryl prisoner? I think so. I think Daryl becomes a prisoner. He gets taken back to the Whisperer camp. I think the word is that he does, Carol does, and so does Michonne. So we'll see what happens there too. So Joey the Gator Q&A, what about Lauren Cohan? I have no idea. She doesn't know. Anyone knows. People are like, the show's great. Whiskey Cavalier is great. Well, it's 10 o'clock on whatever, Wednesday night or whatever. 10 o'clock time slots are tough. So I don't know if that's going to last or not. But you can film a couple episodes of The Walking Dead and then go back to filming Whiskey Cavalier. But we'll see if she puts the effort in or not. And we'll see what happens. But I hope Maggie comes back for season 10 at least. And then maybe but if she comes back, does she stay back? Does she not? We don't know. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to go by the idea of, Whiskey Cavalier's success. So we'll see what happens. What's up, Brian Theory? Jim's still alive and was taken like Rick was, and he was healed. Well, I don't think Jim survived. Jim was season 1. I was back in Georgia. I could see Heath being alive. And I personally want to see what that Heath, or maybe you see Walker Heath in the movies. So we'll see. But yeah, Lucy, a lot of people are liking Whiskey Cavalier. Yeah, I know Tyler, I forget his name. Tyler, who plays Noah on The Walking Dead. They say it's a good show and it's all that too. But who's going to watch that who's going to watch that on Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock on night? I know I'm not going to watch that, especially because I got to get up early for work on Thursdays. So I won't be watching that. Maybe I'll check it out on demand or whatever, but got to give some support to Lauren Cohan for sure. So, yeah, that's true, Boyd. She should be happy with her $350K per episode on The Walking Dead. That's true. But maybe she just wants to do something else, I don't know. Some actors are different like that too. It's got to be a little tough being in Georgia all that time, all that filming, all that heat, all that hot, all that craziness. So a lot of people keep asking me about Oceanside. I'm going to talk a couple more things about Oceanside, and then I'll be done. Unless you want to do super chat questions, I'll always answer them. But the Oceanside info that I got is that Oceanside is still around. I don't know how many people are still alive, if Cindy is still alive, if Rachel is still alive, and who's running Oceanside. But we will see them again at the fair. The flags that I have on that one thumbnail, I believe, are the flags that will be seen during the fair. So you will see those communities: Alexandria, Kingdom, Hilltop, and Oceanside. The sanctuary has fallen. so they won't be there. Oceanside will be seen. I don't know how many people are there, but people are asking me pretty much every day what happened to Oceanside, and we'll have to see. So, James, the snow should be in episode 915 into 916. Definitely 916, but I don't know if it's going to be before that too. So, sup, Brian, is Dwight confirmed to be the return character in 14? I don't know. There's no confirmation about that. I've heard mixed reports about Dwight. I don't know how that would work with him, Fear the Walking Dead, because he's definitely in Fear the Walking Dead. So if he's there, where has he been for 7.5 years? And what has that happened with Fear the Walking Dead? Where have they been for 7.5 years? And what's going on with that too? So, Mark Simmons, did you pick up shirts in the cruise? I picked up a shirt for myself and Hector. He asked me about it, and they were pretty cool. Some of them were better than others, and I think I got the best shirt for myself. I'll show it to you guys next time. It's in the wash now, or it's going to be washed now. I'll show it to you guys. It says The Final Voyage, and it's pretty cool. I thought it was the best shirt that was available, for $30, which is ridiculous. But, they made tons of money off merchandise because that sold out the same day the store opened. And luckily, I was walking, and I was like, I got to go check out the store. So I went in there, and it was a madhouse. You had to wait to get in. There were so many people in there, too. It was just nuts, too. So, Pamela Irving, Eugene will contact Pamela Milton. Well, if he goes by the comics, it'll be Stephanie. It won't be Pamela Milton herself. It'll be another person there. And I can't remember if Stephanie, I think it's Eugene was sending out a message, and then Pamela Milton, or Stephanie from the Commonwealth responded. I think that's how it may go. Shifted, what are they going to do with Negan? He's going to rot in a jail cell for a little bit longer. They're going to block up the window so he doesn't have access to hearing anything. But that's kind of crazy. What have you been doing for 7.5 years, Michonne? I mean, come on. That window's been there for so long. And now you decide to do it? So now you just know that he could listen to stuff? What have you been doing? Come on, Michonne. Get your stuff together. I love you, but you're a different character since Rick went away. She's going to see, too, that she's like, we got to stay in here. It's dangerous out there. And then something's going to happen. That's why I still think the Sadiq thing could be how he's out and about. Michonne wants to stay inside Alexandria and keep everybody there. And I believe that it could be Aaron, Father Gabriel, maybe Rosita, maybe Sadiq go out and get captured or interact with the Whispers. And maybe that's how it goes down. So, but go a couple more minutes, guys. And so episode tonight, 9/12, Guardians should be pretty cool. Beta finally be seen. And so the Whispers came around definitely in episode 908. Maybe 907 if you want to call it that too. 908, 909, 910, 911, and finally 912 we're getting Beta seen. And it goes Lydia, Alpha, then Beta, so it's about right with that too. So Bailey Saxton, Q&A Bry, is it only Gabriel and Negan who know about the helicopter? I believe so. I believe they're the only two that know about it. And the only one that's really talked about it with anybody would be Father Gabriel and Jadis, and Negan and Jadis is gone. So it's just, I wonder if Jadis is going to be on the radio instead of Stephanie. It's Jadis talking to Father Gabriel instead of Eugene talking to Stephanie. I just think that's a good way of doing it. Oh man, people just dumb questions here. A bunch of questions here. Janet, Q&A, Brian, will Michonne end up in the movies with Rick or should be killed? I think that she stays alive. That would be a main character that if Denai doesn't want to do the show anymore, you recast her. Because Michonne is vital to the show, to the continuation of things. If Denai doesn't want to do it anymore, I don't think just killing the character off, pulling a Carl up in here, because you should just recast the characters. And you really haven't had characters recast in the show. There's been little to no characters besides older, and people bring it up. Well, Henry was recast because he was older. Older Judith, Judith was a baby, and she was recast a million times as a baby. And then they had the twins that played a little bit older Judith, and now Kaylee Fleming, who was awesome. She's such a sweet person, and I got to meet her on the cruise, and I saw her a couple times with her mom on the cruise, and it was really cool. It was a really great experience. Judith, Ezekiel, and Jerry made the cruise for myself, for sure. They made the cruise for me. It was one of the best times on it. So let's see, Dr. Funny. Oh, Henry be on the spikes along with Jerry. Well, I don't think Jerry is. I hope Jerry is not. I would think Henry could be. There's been reports that he is, some he isn't there, so we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, Louis, I want Punisher Season 3 and Walking Dead Season 16. Well, I don't know about Season 16 of The Walking Dead. I hope Punisher gets picked up by another streaming service because it got canceled on there too. So thank you guys for joining me this live stream. I'm going to end there. Super chats, appreciate it, guys, on there too for it. Adam and Sup Ryan for the super chats are always welcome. Donations to the channel are always great. I appreciate it. Hopefully the lagging stopped on there for with it. So I'm excited for the future of the show. Christy Wells Reese, the ratings have been pretty good. Let me answer this one question. And they've been pretty good, but then it was kind of lower last episode, but the AMC premiere revenue has gone up, or the AMC revenue has gone up. So they're making their money. That's all they care about too, guys. So thank you guys for joining me this live stream. I'll be doing it next Sunday and the following Sunday and Sunday and Sunday and then Sunday after that. So I'll be doing it for a while now. I'm not going on any more vacations or trips on there too. So I'll be doing my reviews, breakdowns, Easter eggs, all this stuff too. And tonight, Talking Dead is Father Gabriel, Rosita, and the comedian. I think it's Ron Funches, or what his name is. They'll be on tonight, Talking Dead, and Chris Hardwick, obviously. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, and just make it happen, baby. All right, see you later, and see ya.